you doing?
Good, how you doing?
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
So you are a comedian,
Yes.
and you also coordinate and provide comedy for others.
Yes.
Kind of a good way to put it, I guess.
Yep. I've been doing it for about 5 years, and I also book shows. And the most recent one I've been booking is Barrel Laughs at Newport Vineyards.
Perfect.
I had a mutual friend that works there. They were looking to put on a show, so she reached out to me, and I basically took it from there. Booked comics from kind of all over where I'm getting. A lot of these guys come down. They're national and local headliners, anywhere from, performed on Conan O'Brien, Comedy Central, HBO. So you get some of the pretty good comics to come out, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so this event is really fun. You have a show coming up, so it's Saturday, April 1st. Haha, April Fools. Barrel of Laughs. And this has been going on for a while. So how did you really even think of this idea to say, we want to put on a comedy show at Newport Vineyards?
Well, again, like I said, they reached out to me, and Newport Vineyards, they have so many great events there, and it's a fantastic place. There's a restaurant upstairs, the Bricks Restaurant, so why not, just adding that together, go out for dinner, come out for a laugh. I mean, comedy is, people come out and see comedy, but it's something that it's like, people should be doing it more often. So it's like, well, why not bring it to the Vineyard? It's a great place, it's a great spot, and it's in a fantastic area, so it's like, well, why don't we get some comedy going and bring some people out for some laughs, because it's what's better to do than laugh, so that's pretty much kind of how we got it all going.
Grab a glass of wine, get some laughs going. It's fun. I've actually been to a show and it was hilarious, so you did a good job. I don't remember.
Oh, you came to a show?
Yeah, I did.
Right,
I've been. Yeah, he did a good
right,
job.
so
I know that he does
Since
stuff.
she liked it, that means you should come out for a show then. So
Yeah.
She wouldn't lie.
If you can get tickets, it's tough.
Absolutely,
they sell out.
They sell out pretty quick, but we do still have tickets available. They're $25 per ticket for the show. And yeah, we've had 6 shows so far. Every single one sold out. We've had fantastic headliners, Orlando Baxter's with Conan O'Brien, and Al Park. So many just great names. Anthony DeVito, who he's been at Conan O'Brien, now he's got a special coming on Comedy Central really soon. So some great names, and this April 1st we have Greg Stone, who's a fantastic comic. He's from New York. And he's been on Last Comic Standing, Gotham Live on Access TV. So there's fantastic comics coming from all over, and it's it's one of those things where it's like why not do it? It's 2 hours out of your time. Go check out a show. You still have time to go out after. So it's a lot of fun just to come out and laugh, have some drinks. So why not do it? And
you kind of touch base on the caliber of comedians, comics that you have coming in, that you've had. And again, you mentioned Greg Stone is coming. He's the headliner.
Yes.
How do you really get in touch with this high par of comedian? How do you do it? Because this is your job, essentially. You're touching base with all these comedians.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I mean, comics, we all just kind of, a lot of people come up together. So, I mean, a lot of guys I've started out with that have, Orlando I've known for years, who's, he's a Boston guy. So a lot of these people, like comics that you work with all the time, you start with them when, I've been doing it for 5 years. So there's comics that I've met when I was younger, when I first started. And then gradually, as you start touring around, whether you go to New York, Boston, California, wherever, you start meeting more comics, and basically you build a relationship. Then sometimes it's word of mouth, like, oh, hey, so-and-so has this room, it's fantastic, you got to do it. So sometimes they'll reach out to you, but then other times it's just, like friends who run other shows. Like I have another friend of mine who books a show in Newport, actually. It's a festival that he does called Rogue Island Comedy Festival, which is...
Oh.
So
hey,
he's another booker.
You get your plug.
Yeah, so he's another booker who he actually, like, talking with him, it's like, he'll tell me, like, oh, this guy's fantastic. So it's kind of one of those things where it's you meet on the job kind of thing. So that's how you get these guys out. And, when you work with them, then you're like, this guy's fantastic. You want to bring them to your town. If you work with them in New York or Boston, you want to bring them, to your neck of the woods to, have, the audience experience them. So it's basically that. It's who you work with, and, you meet kind of on the job, I guess you would say.
Do you feel like there's a certain type of comic that you're looking for when it comes to planning for a vineyard? Or do you have to, like, go for certain caliber of people? Or are you just kind of like, it's my show, I'm doing what I want, this is what we're going for?
Yeah, no, that's actually a good question because it does vary sometimes depending on, because I mean, if you're doing clubs, I mean, if an actual comedy club, they host all kinds of comics. So if you're going to a comedy club, it's kind of your job to know what you're getting into.
Know your audience.
Some audience, members will be like, well, I didn't like this one, or I didn't like that one, or it's, if it's a comedy club, you kind of know like who's coming way beforehand, so you kind of do your research. But yeah, that can be a little different depending on where you're doing the comedy. If it's at a vineyard or at a bar show, it kind of you kind of have to make sure you gear towards what the audience might be. So when you first start out, I didn't know exactly who was going to come, what the audience was going to be. It's a vineyard, so I wasn't sure if they're going to be more of a proper crowd. So yeah, you kind of go with your gut instinct on who are the best comedians to work with, but also comics, it's their job to go up there and know their audience. Like you can go in there, you start with something to kind of open them up, and it's a lot of times just the comics can do it themselves.
That's kind of my next question. Yeah. Is how much of it is their job to read? Well,
yeah, that's what it is. I mean, a lot of comics, they have their material, but I mean, they're also it's their job to kind of if the audience isn't liking the direction you're going, they're professionals, so they kind of can take it and go in the direction that the audience might want to go. So it's it's basically their job as well to kind of read the audience. But I know a lot of these guys, and like I said, being professional, and they're good at what they do. So I'm not worried for the most part who I bring in. So pretty much anybody that comes, I know that they're going to do a good job.
You know that they can kind of adapt to the
Absolutely.
situation. And if they don't, well, maybe you won't bring them back.
Yeah, come to the next show and maybe you'll like the next comic. But for the most part, I mean, I'm never worried. I mean, you can't please everybody with everything. I mean, there's how many TV shows do you watch and you're like, well, I love this show, and someone else is like, well, I think it's horrible.
Oh yeah, just go on Twitter.
Then you got to find another show. There's tons out there. So I mean, it's everybody has their taste, and I do the best I can to provide an all-around quality show. So
talk a little bit about the structure of the show, because you bring in multiple comics and then you have the headliner. So how do you decide who comes in? Tell me a little bit about how the whole show works.
Well, I do. It's like a showcase. So regular shows, generally it's like 3 comics. You'll have the host, a feature, and a headliner. Host generally does 10 minutes. Feature will do like 20, 25. And then you'll have the headliner does between 45, or if he's working on a special, he'll do an hour. The showcase, you can kind of break it down. If you add more in, the host will do like 10 minutes, but then you get someone to come in and do a little spot for does 10 minutes as well. And then you kind of you can put more people in, you just kind of shorten the times. So it's kind of you get a wider variety of comics that way, where if you do the showcase, you can kind of, the headliner will only do 35 or so. So you can kind of fit in everybody, give you kind of a taste of just different comics. So that's why I like to bring in more on a showcase.
Yeah.
Where generally I do 4, but sometimes I'll have someone come and say if I have 4 on the show, I'll have someone if they're in town do a guest spot like this. I just actually ran into my friend Rob Green, who he's going to be on the show as well.
Cool.
So I have if someone is in the area, I'll put them on, give them a spot. So it kind of just gives you more variety that way. So that's why I like the showcase style a little bit more.
And now, do you ever have to intervene? You're like, this person is doing a great job, we're going to give them an extra couple minutes. I mean, is that your job as a host to be like, they're on fire, we're just going to let them roll? Or if you're like, this person is just bombing, maybe cut them back a couple extra minutes?
Yeah, I mean, I luckily haven't had to run into that problem as far as a comic doing horrible or, but I guess, I mean, for the most part, you have a length of time, like the Vineyard show, we kind of have a cutoff time. So we try to start on time, right at 8 o'clock, and shows are roughly 90 minutes long. So we have roughly till 9:30, but it's if they're going over and the crowd's enjoying it, we're not going to stop the show. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure if someone's doing really bad and we have to kind of, give them the yank, it happens. I mean, we were actually talking about it in your green room a little while ago that sometimes a crowd can just not have a taste for the comic, and you'll just have to give them the light and take them off. But like I said, every comic that has come out to these shows, and they're also professionals for any show to go with, for that matter, where they're going to know their crowd, and if they don't, they'll gradually learn through the process, and if they're losing them, they'll generally they're professionals, so they're going to win them back, and put a good show on for them, because that's our job. We're to make you laugh. So if it's not working, do our best. If not.
I'm one of those really loud laughers, so I feel like when I go to a comedy show, you're always going to be successful because you'll hear me laughing even if no one else is.
Yeah,
you'll hear me.
The loud laughs isn't the problem. Sometimes there's some laughs where it's the really odd ones where it's like it has like, say you just have a genuine just laugh, like, that's fine. Sometimes you get a squeaky laugh or some like really
What's the awkward laugh?
Where's the point? Well, like there's actually a gentleman that comes to a club that I go to often, that I work at, and he sits at the bar all the time, and you'll know he's there.
You know it's him?
You'll be on stage, and all of a sudden you just kind of hear this, like, you're like, what is that? It is the weirdest thing that's going on in the background. Like, I don't know, like, is that an actual person?
And what do you do? Do you address it, or you just...
Sometimes you if you know who it is, like, and this is a kind of a regular...
You know them as a person?
And you kind of just, like, you let it go, but sometimes it, like, if it goes, we'll have, like, people at the tables that it's so much to the point where you just have to, because then all of a sudden the crowd acknowledges it, and they're starting to look around. It's like, okay, we have to acknowledge this person. We can't just let it go. So yeah, it can happen. I mean, it generally it's the crowd goes with it, comic goes with it, and it's you can make the show fun. But I mean, there are times where where you hear it so much, you're like, all right, take it down a notch. Like, what is going on over there? Like, but you have fun with it. Yeah, you have fun with it. You play with them, and for the most part, yeah, I've never had an issue with it derailing a show. But yeah, it can help a show as well. So
what are some other good stories? What else?
Everything can happen at a comedy show. I mean, anything from like the laughter to, people have some drinks. They'll want to banter back and forth with a comic, which I don't generally suggest. Let the comic put on the show.
That could be annoying.
That's the thing. People think that
they're funny.
You pay your ticket, that you're a part of the show now. It's like, no, you pay because you want us to put on a good show for you. So generally it's like, hang back, listen to the comics, let us put on a good show. So sometimes people feel that it's like, they'll have something special to say. Generally, you don't. So yeah, some people kind of yell something out, and that can turn the show into like, the crowd may enjoy it, but the person that opened their mouth, not so good. So it varies. I mean, there's people that have called out, maybe someone that had too many drinks, so it varies as far as like stories that go on and on.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, maybe I should get back on track to asking you some of my questions I had. Let's see. So you talked about some of the good comics that you've had, some that are coming in this week. Who are you looking to schedule? Do you have any ideas on who the upcoming shows you're bringing in?
Yeah, there's tons of comics that I'd love to work with.
Okay. Tell us. Maybe we're going to hook some in.
Well, there's all kinds of guys. like Ray Harrington's one of my favorite guys that I started working with when I started. He's fantastic. He's local, lives in Rhode Island. But he's awesome. He's got a documentary on Hulu called Be a Man. He's fantastic. He's one of my favorite local guys. But everybody from, I just recently worked with Dan Soder recently, who I'd love to have come down. Joe List, there's so many huge names that I could keep going on and on with. But it's I don't know. It's one of those things that it's just about anybody. Anybody from, that I could possibly get to the show, I'd love to work with. The names range from all over. Giannis Pops I've worked with, who's fantastic. The list could go on and on, basically. But, you'd kind of, I guess you have to...
Is there anybody you want to stay away from?
Not really, no. All comics, for the most part, I enjoy working with. Not that I'm going to air out everybody that I can't stand.
No, it's worth a shot.
Yeah, it's, I try to stay drama-free in that area.
There you go.
But yeah, there's a whole list of comics that I love working with. And the guys that I grew up, coming up in comedy, I always like to get on the show that have actually helped me out. Rob Crean, Doug Key, Rob Pierce, who actually, that's the gentleman who actually, he helped me get into comedy. I've been watching comedy for years, and his girlfriend actually works at the Comedy Connection. I was going there for 12 years, and I wouldn't do it. I was just afraid to do it.
Scared,
and he just took me one day. Yeah, he took me one day and just brought me to an open mic, and it never stopped from there. I was like, all right, fine, I finally did it. But so yeah, comics from all over. I definitely like to get a lot of guys that I've worked with over the years, and because then you get a taste of like how their comedy is. So yeah, it all depends. Who's available, because I mean it's. We have the one day out of the week, so it's like you got to try and get these guys that aren't booked for the weekends places. So yeah, I mean, whoever I can get there that
Let me ask you this, because it's April Fool's Day coming up. What's one of your best April Fool's Day jokes or pranks that you've played? Do you have any, or are you one of those people like me where I'm like,
jokes?
It's rude to play April Fool's Day.
I don't really have April Fool's jokes. I mean, as far as pranks wise, I mean, I've had my fair share of pranks, whether it was the little styrofoam like peanuts that they put in packaging, filling up someone's car with that.
You've done that?
Oh, I've definitely done that.
Oh, that's so
I've done that to a coworker. There's all different things.
It's not very nice.
A nice late night saran wrap on the door with a little bit of Vaseline on there. So when you come out of the bathroom late night when you're tired and you just walk into that or some's bedroom, that's a fantastic.
What have you done that too?
Old roommates. So there's various things. You try and safety is a good thing, but I'm not gonna lie. Firecrackers in the backseat of a car when someone's asleep might have happened, but be safe at all times. It's not the smartest thing I ever did, but that was more in the teenage years when he was like, no, this is probably a smart idea. And then when
you have all your fingers.
Yeah.
Do they have all their fingers?
I drive home when no one can hear. It's like, you guys hear that ringing? Yeah, me too. It's like that's not necessarily something you want to do. So be safe at home, kids. Don't try that one.
Oh my God! You want to know? Okay, so this is what we do, my family, on April Fool's Day. Mom, it's snowing. Yeah, that's what we do.
And then you jinx everybody, and then it snows.
I'm from Seattle, so it doesn't really snow on April Fools. Right, but here it could snow. Or this is the other one. Mom, go look outside. There's a deer in the front yard. Those are our April Fool's Day jokes. But guess what? Now there's deer in our front yard. There really are.
No
one gets hurt. No one runs. No one gets hurt.
You never want anybody to get hurt.
But that's why I'm not.
You don't want to bring up snow in New England because that's actually happened. I think it was about 4 years ago. But
there was April Fool's storm.
But I think we got like a foot of snow on April Fool's Day. So.
But now I'm cranking because I don't want anybody to. I could not do fireworks.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. That was a dumb teenager thing. So I wouldn't put that on the list. But definitely like a saran wrap, whether it's on a door or even on the toilet, is always.
No, that's disgusting.
That's it. Hey, it's still a prank. It can depending on it could go.
It could go either way.
Either way, someone could laugh or be very angry. So maybe the safest one, I guess, maybe go tippy toe into it. Use the styrofoam peanuts first. Fill up a car, maybe.
How long did that take?
It was probably about a good hour or so because I had 3 people with me filling up the car. So
that's a commitment.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we had like 3 or 4 people just sitting there with a box, and we closed the doors after we got most of the floor, and then just put in the windows. So they came, and it was pretty much level with the windows, and it was pretty bad.
Did you get fired?
No. That person doesn't work there anymore. So yeah, he had his own issues. But it was a good enough laugh for me, so I enjoyed it.
Oh my gosh. And on that note, you now have April Fool's Day pranks. You have some suggestions. All right, Jeremy, thank you so much. So if you are interested, this Barrel of Laughs comedy series, it's at Newport Vineyards, Saturday, April 1st, April Fool's Day. That's the same thing. Showtime starts at 8 o'clock. Tickets are $25, 20 for club members. When's the next one? Do you know?
June 10th after that. So April 1st is the next one coming up. It's this Saturday coming up. Doors at 7, show at 8. But come early to the Bricks restaurant because you can get something to eat there beforehand, have a couple of drinks. And then the next one after that is June 10th, which I think is a Saturday, if I'm correct.
I don't know.
Is that a Saturday, Cassandra?
Yes, it is.
It's a Saturday. Yes, it is.
Good. Sweet. Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate your time. And thanks for making me laugh. And hopefully I won't be that awkward person laughing. Usually my husband's like, oh, you're so annoying. Your laugh is so annoying now.
Well, definitely come out again.
Okay, perfect. Thanks so much for joining us, Jeremy. Appreciate it.